On the previous episode, we successfully navigated to the northeastern section of the Commonwealth and met the Nakano family. From them, we have received a quest to find their daughter Kasumi, who has fled to Far Harbor, thinking she is a synth. We begin today's episode taking a quick boat trip to said Far Harbor. Well, we will get started trying to track her down. It's a long trip from the Commonwealth to Far Harbor, Maine, and as we can see, the seas are not nice to all travelers. We have wrecks off the shoreline, and coming up, we have Far Harbor itself. Off in the distance, we see a sign to a drink. And there's our first look at Far Harbor. Letting the boat guide itself, the ship pulls in where we will meet our welcoming party.
Mainlanders ain't in trouble.
Put the damn gun down.
Stepping off the boat, we're greeted by the first two people from Far Harbor. Captain Avery and Alan Lee.
We don't get many visitors around
Do
here.
your business and get gone. We don't need no freeloaders or more help, Mainlander. So you can get back in your boat and leave.
Alan, this isn't your dock. It belongs to the whole town. That means strangers are welcome. Sorry, you've caught us during a difficult time. But Alan's got a point. Not all visitors have good intentions. So, what's your business here?
What is this place?
Well, in ancient times, this used to be a tourist town. My people have lived here and on the island for generations. But now everyone's crowded onto the docks, just trying to survive another day. We have more than our fair share of problems. You aren't here to add to them, are you?
I need information about a synth refuge on this island.
Ah, another Commonwealth traveler looking for Acadia, then.
With this declaration, an alarm sounds indicating trouble.
Mariners ain't coming.
Something's coming through the fog!
You, help us defend the town, and I'll answer any questions you have. Take a post at the top of the wall, near the main gate. The hull never lets us down. Now follow me!
With that request, we proceed to follow Captain Avery up to the walls surrounding this town, what they call the hull.
Something's out there.
You sure you saw something?
This is a drill.
The hell?
Eyes peeled, everyone.
Gate. Open the gate! I've got wounded out here.
Mariner, there's no time. Look to the fog. They're coming.
With that declaration, a horde of people runs into town from the fog, and we see the first of our enemies off in the distance. Some creatures called gulpers. As we stand upon the hull with our trusty Overseer's Guardian, Nick rushes in with his new favorite weapon, the flamethrower, and proceeds to deal some direct fiery inferno to the enemy. Off from the left side here, we have another group of gulpers that decide to attack, and we put some more rounds into them from our trusty rifle, showing them the folly of their ways.
One piece.
It's over.
No. Eyes on the fog. Something's coming.
If gulpers weren't bad enough, we have a new menace in the fog, something called an angler.
Let's do this.
The anglers seem to spit some sort of fiery gel, but this is not to make them proof against our mighty Overseer's guardian and Nick with his flamethrower. Very quickly, they are dealt with in this entirety.
We're clear.
All right. Well done, all. Open the gate.
Appreciate the help.
After spending a little bit of time going to the different corpses of gulpers and anglers to loot what we can, we head back into town to talk to Captain Avery about the situation.
Avery,
And now you see what we're up against. The fog and the creatures it spits out have taken the whole island from my people. And for your help when we needed it, you deserve this.
what's the fog?
Where to begin? The fog's radioactive, right? But there are pockets of it, the deep fog, that are hard fallout. And as deadly as that is, that's only part of the problem. Things live in the fog, thrive. You think what attacked the harbor's bad? Oh, there's far worse further inland.
You've lost the whole island?
Oh, the fog's been here forever. There are good years when it recedes and the island's almost normal. Then there are times when it spreads all over. And people have to cling to any patch of land free of the fog. For the past, 8 years or so, it's been getting as bad as it's ever been. Now, Far Harbor's one of the only places left that's safe.
If you managed to survive despite all that, it must be tough.
Ornery, more like.
I'm done cowering behind your damn hull, Avery. Time you let me deal with the real problem. With the right people and my guns, I can end those Children of Adam cultists for good.
The fog's been here forever. The children didn't make it.
Before the Rat Eaters came, the fog was under control. They come, and it all goes wrong. It's time we do something.
No need to burden the stranger with all this nonsense.
What's the deal with the Children of Adam?
They're religious folk. Worship the power of Adam. Which is radiation, I guess. If you want details, you'd have to find and ask them. We used to have a peace with them until a certain hothead menace named Alan Lee...
Now that's enough. That preacher came into the harbor saying that it was Adam's will that we lost our land. That it was Adam's goddamn will that we lost so many friends and family. And that the Atom would wipe this whole place clean of us.
If it were up to me, you'd hang for what you did to that preacher, Alan.
What did he do to the preacher?
Alan pulled a gun on him. He claims the preacher reached for his. We don't have police, or really any law. Just custom and popular sentiment. And after everything the preacher said, it was abundantly clear doing anything to Alan would have made matters worse.
Have the children made the fog worse?
Absolutely not. There's not one bit of evidence.
Geiger counters don't lie, Avery. The fog's gotten more lethal year over year. And now the fog's covering the whole island. But only after the children came.
You know as well as I do that's happened before. Sure, people have theories the children are involved, but no one, and I mean no one, has proof.
Can we get back to business?
Sorry for all that. You're headed for Acadia, right? Getting there will be dangerous. You'll need a guide. Old Longfellow. No one knows the fog like him. But, word of warning, he's a bit of an acquired taste.
What's old Longfellow's story?
He's the best hunter on the island. Fearless. Some say crazy. If someone needs to get to Acadia, he's the only one that'll do it. But, people around here are known for being stubborn, willful, and other, less flattering things. But Longfellow's got a reputation even among us.
What can you tell me about Acadia?
Ask Longfellow. He's the only one that's been there.
Thanks for the info.
Best place to look for Longfellow's at the bar. The last plank. And, please, lend a hand around town if you're able. Even if it's slapped away. People like the Mariner and Cassie and others need help. And let me say something you might not hear again. Thank you.
With that proclamation, we complete our conversation with Captain Avery, and we head into town with two objectives. One, to assist people in town. In addition, we must also find the Longfellow and have him guide us to Arcadia. Let's start by talking to Alan Lee.
Alan. Huh. The mainlander. Great. Fire your gun a few times and you think you're some sort of hero? This is our fight. Our island. Not yours.
Don't you want a helping hand?
Hell no. Once you start leaning on people, soon you can't walk no good on your own. What happens next time when you ain't here, huh? Or the next? Either us harbormen survive on our own terms, or we take the long walk together. So if you're here to buy some ordnance, do your business. Otherwise, take the first boat out of here. Before the children of Adam or worse get you.
What's your problem with the children of Adam?
We should have gunned those bastards down the moment they set foot here. Instead, we let them in. All in secret from wherever they're holed up. They've been feeding the fog. Getting it stronger. Strong enough to push us all out of our homesteads. Further and further until it's a wonder we're not all drowned in the ocean.
Do you have any proof that they've fed the fog?
Proof? We wait for that and we might as well pull the trigger ourselves. Look, in my daddy's time, the fog was a nuisance. Something you avoided. Now every day it gets stronger. It's like the fires of hell out there. Because of the children.
With that, our meaningful conversation with Alan is complete, but since he is the main gun merchant, let's take a look at his wares.
I'll take a look.
You got it.
Now, Alan carries most types of ammunition that we can use in this case. He also carries a unique weapon, the Admiral's Friend, which is a harpoon launcher. Interesting weapon. Addition to that, we also have a few other odds and ends, various types of armors. But the big thing, I think, in this case is going to be the Admiral's Friend, plus the breadth of ammunition. There is a unique action hook called the Fish Catcher. I don't know personally if it is worth it, but if that is useful to you in a melee build, here is where you can find it.
Only Alan's got enough backbone to stand up to the
Behind us, we hear comments from Sandra Lee, who I'm assuming is Alan's wife.
Sandra.
Mariner says the fog's alive. Can hear you. So mind what you say.
A bit of superstition about the fog,
Doing business.
and then off to the side we find the Mariner.
Hey, Mariner.
The hull took a battering, to be sure. But she wouldn't be standing at all if it weren't for you. They call me the Mariner. Shipwright, handyman. And the only one keeping the harbor afloat. Well, beside Captain Avery.
Why doesn't anyone help you?
Each harborman is the captain of his own ship. Worked fine for generations on the homesteads. Your land, your rules. But when the island pushed them onto my dock, one by one, the ungrateful bastards expect me to look after my land, even though they're squatting on it, like wretches.
If it's that bad, why put up with it?
I couldn't very well toss them back into the fog, could I? Bad luck, that. Surely their spirits would haunt me to my grave. And that's a fact.
A pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. I hope the island doesn't kill you quick. Or slow, for that matter. I don't suppose you'd be willing to lend a hand. In order to do proper repairs, I need tools. Specialized tools. And they won't be easy to come by. 450 caps if you can, though.
You've kept the walls together this long. Why do you need special tools now?
I want to build the hull up proper. Make it strong. And keep those blasted crabs out.
Now we have the option of asking for more money, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to simply go.
Sign me up. I'll help.
Eagles Cove Tannery. Tools are certain to be there. Now get.
And with this, we start the quest Hull Breach to go get some power tools, which we'll be getting in a later episode. We head inside, take a look around the living quarters for the Mariner to see if there's anything worth acquiring, we shall say. But it's all fairly standard items with some interesting decorations like the
Been
big
to the
giant
tannery?
claw.
You find my tools yet?
Outside of the west, we see a power armor station, and then we head inside of Alan's shop to see if there's anything worth stealing. We see a plastic plate, a few other random bits of things, and then we proceed to head out and go over to the souvenir shop.
Protect your loved ones with my fine
Looking around, we don't see too much worth acquisition. After leaving, we head over to the bait shop to talk
You're from the
to
Commonwealth,
Brooks.
right?
Hi.
You talk to Cassie Dalton? Shame what happened to her family. The
Welcome to
fog's
the bait
poison
shop.
on account of
If
the
you need
children
any
of
odds and
Adam.
ends, I'm your man.
What's your story?
Just a guy trying to make a few caps. Speaking of which, buying anything?
Being the other primary vendor in town, we decided to take a look at the inventory, and we find that he also has a decent amount of ammunition. This is also one of a couple of places I've seen where I can get the 40-70 ammunition, 40-70, whatever round that happens to be. We also find the Recon Marine Helmet. That is a pricey item, but it may be worth getting it down the road. After talking to Brooks, we head in to talk to Teddy Wright, the local doctor.
You another vulture circling over Andre's body? He ain't dead.
Who's Andre?
Wait. No. It's a mainlander. Well, welcome to my little clinic. If you need doctoring, speak up. I wish I had time for some proper conversation, but my work's never done.
Who's Andre?
Poor Andre is my patient over there. He spent too long a spell in the fog. You may think you know your mainland radiation poisoning, but we got our own special brand here.
I know a few things about medicine. Can I try to help him?
You say, what? You? Help? Well, poor Andre's got it bad. Good is dead. Well, I suppose there's no harm letting you have a poke, but I'll be watching you.
After this declaration, we head over to take a look at Andre to see how he's doing.
You need it?
Let's take a look.
Now, seeing as how we don't have the intelligence or the medic required, we're going to go ahead and leave him alone for now. But we will come back to him at a later date.
You know, when I'm feeling down.
After leaving the bait shop, we head north along the boardwalk, doing a quick stop to inspect the fish on the table here. We'll skip the bar here for the moment, and we're going to turn to speak to Cassie Dalton.
You're that mainlander who just got here. Better watch yourself, because this island sees and hears everything you do. I should know. I watched the island tear down the greatest family that ever set foot in Far Harbor. It's a tale of greed, blood, and vengeance.
What family are you talking about?
I was just about to explain. My family, the Daltons, was the pride of Far Harbor for generations, even back before the war. It was lumber and fishing that made the Daltons rich, but they got greedy, took too much from the island. The island's been getting revenge ever since, killing us off one by one. I'm the last Dalton still standing. But now our story takes an unexpected turn. A mysterious stranger comes to Far Harbor. Someone strong, someone capable. With the stranger's help, the last living Dalton finally has a chance to avenge her bloodline once and for all.
Wait, are you saying that I'm the mysterious stranger who's gonna help you avenge your family?
You're a quick one. Good. You'll need your wits about you, because your part in the story is filled with danger. Now, on to the first chapter in our tale of vengeance. That would be the sad story of freckle-faced Petey. Petey was my cousin. He was a good lad, never caused trouble. He thought all those freckles brought him luck, but, well, not so much. He was out foraging at the National Park campground when the island sicked some feral ghouls on him. Island's a sneaky bastard when it wants to be. Anyway, he made it back to town, but died from his injuries that night. Of course, those ferals are still out there, waiting to kill the next poor fool who comes along. Damn shame, that.
Where did you say these ghouls were?
National Park campground. It's pretty much straight west of here.
Those ghouls are as good as dead.
Good, good. It's long past time those shamblers paid for what they did to Petey.
And with this, we gain the quest Blood Tide to seek out and avenge the Dalton family. Heading out to the back of the dock here, we speak briefly with a couple of harbor women. And looking through the map, we find that we did add a few extra locations.
The children of Adam are dangerous. Don't trust them.
Seems like quite a few people here have a bad opinion of the children of Adam. Yes, what if I am eyeing you? What if I am? Okay.
Don't talk to Bertha. She's crazy.
Small Bertha.
My brother, all right?
Bertha.
I don't have time for mainlanders.
She is all for protected of her brother,
For some reason.
Tony.
Well, hello.
Tony seems lost in his own world, and after reading this last note from Mom, I don't think I can blame him. Mark, Far Harbor's covered in fog, too. Only docks are clean, men are almost kicked everyone out, but Avery stepped in. Aunt Caden's left for the mainlands! Exclamation mark! Our home's completely behind the fog. All the news is bad. I'm traveling to see the Daltons, see if they need farmhands. I should be back in 2 weeks. Give my love to the kids. Keep them out of the fog. Love, Peggy. Oh no, it's obvious that both of these kids lost their parents to the fog. Hopefully we can help them in the end in some fashion. Next up, let's head into the last plank. Even at this time of the day, there seems to be a few patrons in the last plank. We're going to ignore Longfellow off to the left there and talk to Mitch, the bartender.
Today's your lucky day. Free beer for ya. Ha ha!
Beer!
You have anything a bit stronger?
Pushing your luck, are ya? Ha! I like it. Take this. Top shelf all around. So, drink up. You stay here over long and the fog will claim you. Might as well meet her with a belly full of fire, eh?
What's so special about the fog on the island?
Can you feel it? Even here, as safe as anyone can be on this damned island. It's alive. You walk inland and it'll blanket you up in no time. And if the clickety-click of the Geiger don't get you, the madness will. The island will claim us all in the end.
The fog can drive you crazy?
Yes, it's not natural. The trappers you find inland, some were always murderous louts. But many just got lost in the fog for too long. And the mind goes. If you have any sense, return where you came from. And don't look back.
If it's so dangerous, why do you stay?
This is our home. If you call yourself a proper man or woman, you don't give up on that. Besides, we all gotta die. Might as well do it with your long knife deep in the belly of the beast that wronged you. Ha!
I'd like a drink.
Let's get you liquored up then. Ha!
Now, looking at his inventory, as you can see, he is your typical bartender selling various alcoholic beverages of various sorts. Before we go talk to our quest target here, we decided to head upstairs and look around briefly to see if there's anything of note. A bit of ammo and a bit of typewriter. We initially think about stealing the typewriter and then decide against it. Note! Fine, but cash does not belong on top of chairs, tables, any place a paying customer would sit, period. Firmly, Mitch. I don't think Mitch likes cats. We got a note here in the wastebasket. See if we can get it out. Cats are dirty critters that pee indoors. They have no business being in a bar. Mitch. Yeah, Mitch definitely doesn't seem to like cats. We decide here to do the first bit of theftery and grab these 45 rounds.
That sure doesn't look
And I forgot that I was traveling with Nick. Nick does not like us stealing things. So we won't do any more theft.
Won't go down unless
On the other side up here, we have a brief hallway. We have a stairs down and a door. In the door, we have another room with not much to look at here. as well as in the back here, a couple of beds with not much to look at. Heading downstairs, we pass a jukebox and then head over. Let's pause for a moment.
Here. Shut your mouths, open your damned ears. So the fogs are coming for us all. I can't see any better way of greeting it than to have another round. On the house.
Yeah!
The only thing I can assume is that Mitch is fatalistic and thinks the world's going to come to an end. Here's old Longfellow. Next to him is the Islander's Almanac. Let's go ahead and read that real quick. And that unlocks various points of interest map markers across the Far Harbor expansion. Let's go and talk to old Longfellow.
Captain Avery said you can get me to Acadia.
Heard there was a scuffle out there. You get your hands dirty? I'm done leading people to their deaths in the fog. Last fella couldn't keep up. Didn't last 5 minutes.
Can you tell me about Acadia?
Strange folk like there. Call themselves synths. Seems to me they just want to be left alone, to live their life in peace. They've done some good turns for us islanders. The fog condensers, most especially, wouldn't even be a Far Harbor left without those.
What's a fog condenser?
The condensers? They're a tricky bit of science. They keep the fog away. Powered by the wind farm, the synth fellows got up and running. Us islanders don't particularly like being obligated to them. But there you have it.
Some parents are worried about their runaway daughter. She went to Acadia, and I need to find her.
If someone's headed for Acadia, there's always a story. Yours worth dying over, huh?
The runaway's name is Kasumi. You, know about her?
Sounds like Captain Avery's been running her mouth again. She should know better than to stick her nose where it's not wanted. Maybe I heard of her, maybe not.
Yeah. I've done a whole lot more for a whole lot less.
If that's the way you choose to live, that's your affair.
Look, if that girl's in some kind of trouble, time could be running out. We need your help.
Christ almighty. You've seen better days.
Thank you for coming to the rescue, Nick.
Get you to Acadia. But you've got to listen to me. Go where I say, when I say it. Still won't be easy. You stock up on your necessities, Rad, X, and the like. And then the real work can begin.
Should I make any other preparations?
Ammo, stim packs, maybe a rocket or 3. Worse than Myra lurks out there.
I need to take care of a few things.
Handle your necessities, then off with you.
Drown your worries in
And with that, we have explored Far Harbor to the top of our ability here and gotten all of the quests that we have available. As such, we're going to go ahead and pick this up in the next episode, where we will venture out, most likely starting with some of the side quests before following along to the main quest. So in the meanwhile, we will pick up a little bit of ammunition and supplies, buy a few things, and be prepared for the next episode. I hope y'all did enjoy this. I am enjoying this new method of doing voiceovers with a narrative approach. If you have been enjoying this, please let me know. If you have any kind of criticisms, let me know in the comment section below. Like and dislike the video as you see fit. If you are liking this and you wish to see more, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell notification button to be notified when I post videos. I try and release several videos every week. So again, as always, my name is Daniel. Thank you all for watching.
You need it? The bait shop's got
You'll
it.
have a good day.
You need some firepower?